Howdy, Tubalcain again. This is not one of my regular machine shop videos, but just got something to show and tell. The other day, out of the clear blue sky, an old friend stopped by and said, "I got something for you in the back of my truck." So I went out in the driveway and he said, "I don't know what it is, but you can have it." So we unloaded it, brought it in. It weighs about 40 pounds, it's 12 inches high, and it's a model, apparently a working model, of a small metal shaper. Now, whoever made this many years ago had incredible skill because it's very intricate, and it weighs about 40 pounds or 50. I'm going to turn it around here a little bit. We got a little vise. For those of you that do not know what a metal shaper is, it's a tool that isn't used much anymore, but it had a one-point tool in there, something like a lathe tool, and would go back and forth and do many of the operations that a milling machine will do. It's something that isn't, most of them have been scrapped, the bigger ones. Has about a 2-inch stroke. I plan on restoring this in the future, I don't know when. All I've done so far is to blow off the dust and the mouse doo-doo and all of that stuff, because it's been apparently stored someplace that was unheated, so there's quite a bit of rust on it I'd like to take off. The feeding mechanism here is very intricate. That alone would be a winter's project. Even the little vise on there you could spend 3 or 4 days making. The clapper box, if you know what that is missing, along with the tool holder. So this is all bare right in here. There's a little motor on it, and I didn't think it would work, but it does. I'd like to replace all that, and the wiring is real bad and brittle. There's a little vise that can be swiveled around. We still had one of these in the machine shop when I used to teach machine shop about 25 years ago, but a very large one. Some people still collect the smaller Atlas and Sheldon and South Bend shapers, but most men have no interest in them whatsoever. And the big old shapers that weighed 2 and 3 tons, by and large, I've seen them sell at auctions for scrap metal. Nobody wants them. They're hard to move, and you couldn't get them in the basement. Trouble with the shapers, they only cut 60% of the time. They do not cut on the backward stroke. Let's plug it in now so you can see what it does. I just measured the stroke, and it's approximately 2.5 inches. Again, there'd be a tool on the end of that. This table and vise move vertically. And the power feed allows you to move the table and the vise back and forth in this direction. Can be done by hand as well, but you can see it feeding now automatically. You see that? Reversing this will allow it to feed in the other direction. And depending on how far I move this lever one way or the other determines how much feed we have. Notice just a small amount of feed right there, and then when I put it in that direction a little bit farther, we have more of a feed. And that would be the neutral position. I've never seen anything like this. It's really unusual. This little adjustment here also allows you to change how much feed we have. Now, I'm not sure about all of this yet, but on the big shapers that I've been connected with over the years, you could change the length of the stroke and also the position of the stroke. That is, would the movement be back here, or would the movement be farther out here? But I believe this adjustment, if there is one there, will change the length of the stroke. I'm not sure on this one yet, but on most shapers, the return stroke was faster than the forward stroke. So they cut about 60% of the time. This might be going backwards a little faster, I can't really tell. You know, crazy things happen in a school shop, but I do recall being out of the room for a minute and then coming back in, and a kid was straddling this and riding it like a horse. Back and forth, back and forth. Strange things do happen. The craftsman that made this, Mr. G.K., who probably is long dead, must have had incredible talents to make something so intricate. He probably did it at work on his off time, because not too many people had a shop in their home then, still don't for that matter. Beautiful little machine. Give me comments on it if you like it. Someday, if I ever do get it restored and get a clapper box on there, I'll run another video on it, but it sure isn't going to happen very soon. This may be the end of it, but I thought it was interesting to show and tell. Although this hasn't been cleaned up yet, the only markings I can find on it is there's initials here of GK etched onto this little arm. I cannot find any other dates or names on it. Hope you enjoyed this little demo, this little show and tell. Tubalcain saying so long for now.